One Monday morning at Blue Ridge Bank in downtown Atlanta, the newly employed branch manager, Miss Susan Marley, was on edge. She was eager to prove herself after landing the prestigious job, and she believed today would be her moment to shine. As the bank bustled with activity, a middle-aged black man walked in, dressed in a simple shirt and jeans. He walked calmly up to the counter, his stride confident yet unassuming. "Good morning," he said to Susan. "I'd like to deposit a large sum of money into my account." Susan gave him a quick once-over. She frowned. "We'll need to verify your account first," she said in a clipped tone. Jason's background fits 4 months of Susan's record. "Of course," the man replied politely. He handed over his account details. Susan glanced at the screen, but barely hid her disbelief. She leaned closer, lowering her voice. "Are you sure these details are correct?" "Yes, they are," the man replied. "You'll also need to prepare for the deposit. It's a transfer of $200 million. Susan froze. She leaned back and crossed her arms. "Listen, sir, we don't tolerate scams here. If this is some sort of joke, I suggest you leave before I call security." The man stayed calm. "This is not a joke. Maybe you'd like to see my business card," he offered, opening his briefcase. Susan stepped back. "No need. Scammers always have fake cards. You can't fool me. You probably think I don't know how these things work, but I do." Whispers filled the air and some customers shook their heads. "But I'm not scamming you," the man said firmly. "You're making a mistake." Susan wasn't listening. She pointed a finger at him. "People like you always try to game the system. You think you can just walk in here and claim to have millions? Get out." The room went silent. A tall man in a sharp suit had entered the bank unnoticed. He had been listening to everything. The tall man in the suit walked up to Susan and the black man. He cleared his throat. "What's going on here?" Susan turned to him, her cheeks flushed. "Mr. Taylor, this man claims to have $200 million to deposit. I was just about to call security." Mr. Taylor raised an eyebrow. "And why would you call security for that?" "Because he's obviously lying." "Look at him," Susan said. Mr. Taylor turned to the black man, a look of recognition dawning on his face. "Mr. Daniels," he said warmly. "It's been a while. Good to see you." "Taylor," Mr. Daniels replied with a small smile. Susan blinked with confusion. "You know him?" she asked. "Course I do," Mr. Taylor said. He turned to the crowd. "Ladies and gentlemen, meet Mr. James Daniels, the owner of Daniels Innovations, our bank's largest investor." Susan's face turned pale immediately. But, she stammered. Let me make one thing clear," Mr. Taylor continued in a sharp voice. "Mr. Daniels isn't just a client. His investments are the reason this bank survived the last financial crisis. Without him, we wouldn't be here today." Susan's mouth opened and closed, but no words came out. Mr. Daniels stayed calm. "I was hoping to keep this visit low-key, but it seems that's no longer possible," he said, glancing at Susan. "Mr. Daniels," Mr. Taylor said, "on behalf of Blue Ridge Bank, I deeply apologize for the treatment you've received today. This is unacceptable." Mr. Taylor turned back to Susan. "You've been here for barely 2 weeks, and this is how you treat our clients? I didn't know," Susan blurted out. He didn't look the part. Mr. Taylor shuddered. And what exactly does someone with $200 million look like?" Susan said nothing. Mr. Taylor took a deep breath, addressing everyone. "At Blue Ridge Bank, we pride ourselves on treating every client with respect, no matter who they are or how they dress. This incident is a disgrace." He turned back to Susan and said to her, "You're fired, effective immediately. Clear out your desk." Tears welled up in Susan's eyes, but she knew there was no arguing. She walked away, humiliated. The crowd erupted into applause. Mr. Daniels turned to Mr. Taylor. "I appreciate how you handled that. Let's move forward with the deposit." "Of course," Mr. Taylor said. As Mr. Daniels was escorted to a private office, the remaining customers couldn't stop talking about what had just happened. The lesson was clear. Never judge a book by its cover. And this brings us to the end of the story. Thank you for watching till the end. I hope you enjoyed the story. If you did, don't hesitate to like the video and share it with your friends too. Subscribe to our channel and turn on the notification bell for more fascinating stories. Have a nice day.